Well, folks, today we're going to be talking about Nintendo Switch 2's Pro Controller and giving a big summary of all the current rumors and leaks around it, because we haven't talked a ton about the potential Pro Controller 2 for Nintendo Switch 2. We did one rumor video on it, but we haven't done anything since, and there's actually been a number of stuff put out about it, and the Nintendo Switch 2 subreddit community actually put together a very comprehensive post that summarizes everything that's been stated from different places about the actual Pro Controller for Nintendo Switch 2 and some of the changes coming to it compared to the Pro Controller for the Nintendo Switch. And yes, according to the rumors, there are definitely some changes. So we're going to dive into that in a moment after I remind you that we're on our road to 140,000 subscribers. If you want to stay as up to date on all things Nintendo Switch 2, absolutely subscribe to this channel. I got to remind you, of course, that we're dealing with the realm of rumors here, so take everything with a grain of salt. Rumors are meant to be doubted. They're not meant to be believed, but are kind of fun to talk about. At least I have fun talking about them. So we head on over to the Nintendo Switch 2 subreddit here, where you see a post up here by Icy Concentration C. And as you see, it says, here's a collection of all the rumors surrounding the new Pro Controller. So first comes from Ninspider. He is a poster over on Family Boards. And he says, history, he was the first to call out that there was a new button below the home button 8 months ago. He correctly leaked the U-shaped kickstand on the back of the Switch 2. Unconfirmed on what the backplate of the dock looks like, but drawings around a shape is one-to-one to next handheld's leaked dock pic. And he has provided shipment data with claims of over 6.5 million consoles in stock. So next up, he goes, in Ninspider's latest post, there are mentions of 2 new buttons on the back of the Pro Controller, as well as stating that the Joy-Con new buttons act as a trigger input, not a release function. So here's what Ninspider said. Hello, I survived the ninja chase for some reason. I'm writing this time in Japanese using machine translation. This may be my last post before the time comes. Here is some solid information. There are 2 new buttons on the back of the Pro Controller, and it's very likely that the new Joy-Con back buttons are for input, not release. There is also unconfirmed information what the week after the Japanese New Year may be the time for the release. Japanese New Year, by the way, is January 3rd. So, yeah, he's talking about how it could be revealed the week after that. Anyways, however, it is also possible this is only new information about Xenoblade Chronicles X or Xenoblade Cross. There will be probably no new information in December. Hope you all have a wonderful holiday season. Now, this is the one that we actually made a video about, and I talked about how, hey, if we're talking about, buttons on the back of the controller, it could be, like little things that go with these fingers, kind of like those extra buttons you see on some third-party controllers that you could change stuff to, or maybe there's nothing there at all. I have no idea, but we did talk about this already in a prior video. So let's get into the additional information in this post. So it's Chinese user, what a big tomato. Credibility is unknown. History is what? Claims that the Switch 2 Pro controllers were assembled and tested at this electronic company, which is Qingdao Sanmai Electronics Factory in Japan, and that they have tested the product. And he says, Electronics Factory, the manufacturer of Nintendo controllers for the Japanese in their own country. I even saw the Nintendo Switch 2 console. They mainly test the buttons after installing the controllers. There are no problems. They will be packed in the boxes. Unfortunately, they didn't see the Joy-Con. So it's kind of weird. Are they saying that the Pro Controller is going to be packed in the box? It says the console used for testing only has a controller testing function, no access to regular operating system. The big thing I get out of this is, like, this person's, I guess, claiming that they're packing the Pro Controller in the box. I don't foresee that. But let's go to some more stuff here. So it says, good big tomato LVG 1 hour ago location. It says, in addition, pure black, there is a gray-black color blocked version. The feel, I think, is better than the first generation. Buttons are more comfortable. Can't get into the normal system, only have grip functionality. And that there's a headphone jack underneath the Pro Controller 2. Colors black and dark gray. 2 new buttons have been added. So the company that makes Switch Pro Controller for Switch 2, the icon between the plus and minus button became the icon of the Switch 2. A headphone jack has been added below. You can use headphones while playing with the controller. Besides black, there's also a dark gray controller. 2 buttons have been added under the handle. Again, this is stuff that seems fairly safe. Adding a headphone jack to it, I just kind of feel like this is expected or should be expected. I know we didn't get it on the original Pro Controller, but if you're going to make a new version, why not add that simple feature? Switch already has, headphone headset support, so why not? Now, confirms the new buttons are named GLGR. So he says, are the names of the 2 buttons GLGR? He says, do you think it can be used? And he says, not a good buy with a good price. Okay. Yes, both names are printed on the keys, so GLGR. Next, we get to this Chinese user Motor, credibility unknown. Says 2 guesses about the Switch 2. To enhance the body sense, there is news that there is a camera under the Joy-Con. I personally guess that each of the 2 Joy-Cons has a camera or a built-in infrared camera and built-in millimeter wave radar. In this way, the 2 Joy-Cons can be combined into a handle through the Joy-Con grip and then placed in front of your TV to play the role of the Xbox Kinect. If this is the case, the Joy-Con grip will have a charging function, but the Bluetooth transmission speed may be difficult. Based on everything we've seen in the renders, there's no cameras, actually. It looks like they removed the IR camera in general. But I guess the guy admits it's guesses, right? Anyways, the Switch 2 Pro Controller is detachable like the Switch. There are reports that the Switch 2 Pro Controller also has 2 new buttons on the back, which means that the new back buttons may not be disassembly buttons, but I personally speculate that the Pro can also be disassembled and installed on the Switch 2, which can increase the feel of the handheld console. So what he's basically projecting or guessing is that he's able to basically disconnect the Pro Controller and, not slide it, but I guess snap it on to the side of the Switch to have a different ergonomic feel. Would be interesting. I don't think Nintendo's doing that, but those ones are some pretty far out there stuff. Hey, I did say this is a gathering of all the rumors out there. Some of them are a little far-fetched. All right, getting back into this, Motor has provided descriptive details of the new Pro Controller, seemingly produced by their company. It has a C button, 3.5 millimeter headphone jack on the bottom, 2 new buttons on the grip, new logo. So how to say the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller produced by our company? It's basically the same as one. The details are mainly the big logo on the front of the controller. The number 2 is added next to it, which is the same logo. In addition to pure black, there's a new gray black color. The shell is black. The joystick body and the top and lower button are gray. The main change is the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack is under the controller. You plug in headphones to play with the controller. Then there are 2 buttons under the controller for the middle finger and ring finger. Then we get to Next Handheld, to the guy that we've talked about a lot. They're giving him a pretty high credibility score. I'm still kind of 50-50 on him, but he leaked images of the dock, the Joy-Con, and the Switch 2 tablet, has provided loads of information details about the Switch 2. Although he's previously stated he has no idea what the Pro Controller looks like. He laughs here. I haven't seen or heard any of these. I've never claimed to know anything about the Pro Controller. This information he has provided on the Joy-Cons contradicts what Ninspider said, saying that the new button's purpose is to unlatch the Joy-Cons. So, is the 3rd button on the Joy-Con for a single Joy-Con use, Z button, or is it to release the magnets? Is there Bluetooth headphones support on the 2? Does the Switch 2 have an OLED screen? Only know the answer to the first one is to release the magnets. So he's talking about those extra buttons we saw back there that are kind of like, you have your ZLZR and then that extra thing back there. We all kind of figured it was a release mechanism, but technically Ninspider said that's not the case. Those are actually usable buttons, but Next Handheld is saying they're release buttons. So, you have 2 insiders that are kind of contradicting each other. And he says, do you have to pull the magnets off with force or do they turn on and off? The button unlatches it and the magnet is easy to pull off. It feels like it's more aligning it like the Joy-Con and then it gets latched. And obviously here is a picture of those prototype Joy-Con from October of 2023. All right, it is unknown whether the Joy-Con's new buttons will double as an input similar to the ZLZR buttons and also act as a release function or one or the other. So this is just a nice little gathering of everything that's been said that has anything to pertain with the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller. My personal thoughts are, I'm not sure I believe much of any of it. Ninspider saying that they're putting buttons on the back, making it feel like some of those third-party controllers. Doesn't feel right to me. Like, nobody does that. Sony doesn't do it on their standard controller, even with the DualSense and all its features. It doesn't have that functionality. The Xbox standard controller doesn't have it. The Switch Pro controller doesn't. I mean, most standard controllers don't have it. Sometimes there are, it's hard to say pro level because Nintendo calls it a pro controller, but you have your premium controller options from PlayStation, Xbox. They sometimes have that extra functionality and put paddles on the back and stuff. I don't think Nintendo's really going to do that. Could they do it? Of course, it's possible. I'm not even saying it's really expensive to do it. I just don't think Nintendo's going to do it. And I feel like the controversy between the latch and unlatched stuff, I don't know. My biggest takeaway always from these rumors is the headphone jack. Having a headphone jack local is a big deal. It kind of sucks we're not hearing about analog triggers. That's something else that a lot of people want. It sounds like it's going to be digital again. But yeah, I would also like to hear if the control sticks are Hall sensing or not. Obviously, we have heard from Next Handheld that the Joy-Cons use Hall sensing sticks. So then I would presume the Pro Controller would. But again, these are all rumors. Like, we don't know if any of this is true. We do know that it's really, really fun to talk and speculate about. So I'm going to kind of leave the video at that for today. You guys let me know what you think about the whole Pro Controller stuff. Do you believe it? Do you not believe it? How much of this do you believe? We'll put a link to this post down in the description. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. I am Nathaniel Rovajance from Nintendo Prime. And hey, we'll be live tonight, so hopefully I'll catch you guys there.